What is up, YouTube? It's Rules for Rebels here, and in today's video we're going to be using Terapeak once again. We're going to be going through some potentially hot-selling eBay and or Amazon items. If you guys watch my channel, you know I do these every few months. I'll do these, and with us coming into the kind of spring and summertime, I thought we'd do another one of these and kind of focus on some summer-type products. Not all these are summertime products, but a few of them are, so I thought we'd focus on some summertime products and show you guys some potentially hot-selling eBay and Amazon items you potentially could sell. One other thing I want to mention, since we are using Terapeak in this video, for those of you guys who maybe haven't heard about it or haven't seen my other video, we are doing a pretty cool giveaway. To thank you guys for helping me reach 10,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a year-long professional subscription to Terapeak. If you guys watch my videos where I show you guys eBay sales data, sell-through rates, etc., the program I use to do that is Terapeak, and I'm going to be giving away a free year-long subscription. If I'm not mistaken, it's well over $200 value right there. We're going to be giving that away for free, as well as a second prize, which is going to be a month-long professional subscription to Terapeak. So I'll put a link to the contest I got going in the description box below. I was just going to ask that you guys follow me on Instagram at Rules for Rebels, and then just sign up for the contest, and we'll be picking a winner on the 29th of this month, which is only about a week away. Also, if anybody wants to give this program a try or pull some sales data yourself, I will also include a link in the description box to where you can get a free 7-day trial. No money down, just 7 days, try it out, see what you think, and if you want, you can sign up from there. So without further ado, I will show you guys the products that we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing compression sleeves, hand warmers, Hamburger press for summer barbecuing, Kegel balls, silicone spatula, a pizza cutter, hot water bottle, copper mug, Cactus food, and Coco coir. So some of you guys may or may not know what all that stuff is. Wow, that's an inappropriate picture right there. Yeah, so let's get into it here. So first we're going to go to research, and then we're going to go to product research. Now, any of these categories that don't seem promising, I'm not going to dig too deep into them. We're going to take a look at the overall dollar amount sold per week, as well as we are going to look at the sell-through rating. And if something doesn't look promising, we're not going to dig in too deep. So first is a compression sleeve. For those of you guys who don't know what a compression sleeve is, it's those things that like athletes wear on either their arms or legs. These aren't really, more like these things, the kind of colored ones. I was trying to see if I could find a better... Okay, so something like this. You'll see a lot of baseball players wearing them this time of year. Really popular with athletes and things like that. So let's look. Compression sleeve. This is a product that I've been seeing a lot on Review Kick and AMZ Review Trader lately. Let's quickly come over here, and I'll tell you guys if this is a product that's going to be really competitive for Amazon. So, okay, I was going to say the one that's at the top only has 10 reviews, but as you can see, this is a sponsored result, so they're paying to keep their listing up there. Here's ones for $17.49, $142. So, I mean, as you can see here, a lot of people have 100, this is hard to compete with when somebody has 2,000 reviews. Like, you can catch somebody with 100 reviews, you can catch somebody with 300 reviews. What I don't like to see is if the whole page were full of people with like over 2,000, over 1,000 reviews, I'd be kind of turned off to this item or this category. Look at this person's doing pretty well. They only have 2 reviews, but they're on the first page, albeit a bit lower. So, this is going to be a fairly competitive item to sell, but it's far from impossible and it's far from saturated. So this could be a pretty interesting item. So we'll dig into this one a little bit deeper. So overall sales per week, over $50,000 in sales per week. That's actually really, really good. Sell-through rate is 62%. I've seen better, but this is actually a really healthy sell-through rating. Typically, if anything's above 40%, I say it's a product worth looking into. So let's see. So the average price is $10.02. Average shipping price is $4.31. The ideal time to sell these items are between 7 and 8 p.m. The best day of the week to sell them is on Sunday. And most people, surprisingly, aren't listing these in sports and outdoors or sporting goods. They're listing them in clothes, shoes, and accessories. And this is really odd. The number one keyword is the shirt. I don't really quite get that. How we get the sell-through rating, there's 3,532 listings. Of those, 2,197 were successful, which gives us a sell-through rate of 62.21%. And here we can see, these things seem to sell really good, in the morning, it kind of dies off, and then they sell really good in the evening. Pretty even sales across every day of the week. I mean, Sunday, obviously, you can see is the best day, but, Tuesday, Wednesday, like pretty much any day of the week would be decent to sell these. And I was kind of surprised that clothing was the #1 category that these were listed in. But as you can see, some people are listing in health and beauty and sporting goods. So any one of these 3 categories would be a good category to list in. Again, this is pretty good to see as well. A lot of times for the pricing that items sell at, you're going to see like a ton of things sell cheap and not a lot of them sell at a higher price point. But I mean, as you can see here, like $12 to $16, there's still a healthy amount of these selling. $8 to $9.99, pretty good. Let's go over here to Alibaba. And let's look up compression sleeves. So, it's not really what I'm looking. Okay, so something like this. I mean, you can get these depending on how many you order. $1.38 to $4.99. I've actually seen these cheaper, $4 to $8. Here's some simpler ones, $1.28. This is actually kind of high price. I've actually seen these things priced a lot lower, $2.50 to $3.80 a pair. Not bad. These are a little bit more complicated designs. $2 to $3, $2 to $4. So. Pretty decent prices here. If you can buy this for $2 and sell it even for the low end at $9, that's a pretty good margin. I think I showed you guys already over at Amazon. So here's a pretty basic one selling for $12.99. Here's an elbow one selling for $17. So I think this is a pretty good category. There's pretty good margins. It's not overly competitive. It's got a good sell-through rating. So you may be onto a pretty decent item here. Let's look at some of the items that are the most popular selling in this category. And I always like to search from high to low so we can see what's getting the most bids. As I always tell you guys, when we do this, we're not really looking at any buy it now listings. This is all auctions. So here's some Under Armour compression shirts. Okay, so that's why the word shirt was coming up, because these compression shirts are pretty popular. Did I search compression sleeve? Yeah. Okay, so these shirts seem to be almost more popular than like the leg and arm sleeves, and the foot ones seem to be pretty popular as well. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I really expected it to be more the arm and leg sleeves as opposed to the shirts, but compression shirts may be a hot selling item in their own, so that's kind of interesting. Let's go over and look at the top 20 sellers. And this is basically going to be your competition should you choose to sell these shirts. This we really like to see. Almost everybody, or a lot of people, have 100% sell-through ratings. The people who don't have 100% sell-through ratings still have pretty high. So as I always tell you guys, what I would typically do here is look at each one of these guys' stores. Here, I'll show you how we do that. I could actually click on this, but I don't want to get us sidetracked here. So what I would do, I'm going to search his name and eBay. And we'll go to his eBay profile. And let's look at some of the items that this guy's selling. So let's look at his items for sale. So this guy's got he's got knee compression, elbow compression, foot compression, compression boxers. What is this, like a unitard or something like that? So this guy's got a lot of stuff in the compression category. So why I would look at this guy's listing, I can get ideas for other products to sell. Look, compression shorts are probably a good seller. Compression back sleeve, compression leg sleeve. Compression pants, compression foot things. So, this guy's doing pretty well here. But basically what I would do, I would try to find ideas for other items he's selling. I would look at the price point he's selling things at. I would look at what his title is like. And I would also go down, okay, so he's using a template. So I might want to use a template. He does a good job of kind of selling the benefits of his sleeves and things like that. So I think this guy does a really good job of putting together his listing. So I don't want to spend too much time on this compression sleeve category. So let's, we'll knock compression sleeves off the list and say that was a positive category right there. So hand warmers, I saw the hand warmers on Review Kick earlier today, and personally I wouldn't think that these would do well because it's kind of a seasonal item and we're not really in the season for it. But let's take a look here. Yeah, so see, this doesn't really float my boat here. Overall sales is only $1,900. Now I'm typically not turned off by a low dollar amount as long as you can either make good margins on it or the sell-through rating is high. But here we have a low amount of total sales and a fairly low sell-through rating. So we're going to check that one off the list. We're not even going to dig into it as a minus. Next, we're going to do a hamburger press. So Great for summer barbecues and stuff, right, to make hamburgers. So let's look up hamburger press. Okay, so this is I'm kind of on the fence with this one. $3,148 isn't a terrible overall sales per week. 48%, that's decent. This is kind of right on the cusp of whether I would want to sell it or not. What would basically tip the scales for me on this is what the margins are. So if we're going to buy a hamburger press for $6 and sell it for $9, I want no part of it. However, if we're able to get them for like 50 cents and we can sell them for $9, I'm on board. So let's look up hamburger press. And 270, 230, 260. Here you can get them for 50 cents. This does look kind of cheap to me though. Here's a silicone one, but they want too much money for it. Here you can do 2 hamburgers at a time. 80 cents to $1.60. This isn't a terrible product. I would imagine it's fairly low competition. Let's see, hamburger press. So here's basically the exact one we just saw. Someone's selling it for $9.49 with Prime. They're probably paying, say, $4 in Amazon fees and FBA fees. So take it down to about $5. They're getting it for $1. I mean, it's not terrible margins. Personally, this is something that you could get into. I wouldn't say this is a bad item to get into. There's not a ton of competition. There is some competition. For me, the margins aren't what I'd like them to be, and the sell-through rating isn't that high, and the overall sales aren't that high. So this wouldn't be a bad item to get into, but it's not something that I'm really wowed by. So we're gonna put an N next to this one for neutral. Next up, we have Kegel balls. Now this is, I think, kind of a adult, not like a sex toy or anything like that, but kind of an adult category type item. I saw this on Review Kick today. See, so this is, okay, this is actually interesting stats here. So we have very, very low sales, $256 in sales a week. But this is a fairly high sell-through rating. If this were a little bit higher, I would say this is a great item. Typically what it tells me when a item has a very high sell-through rating but not a lot of sales, it tells me that there's not enough people selling them. So I imagine if we look at the competition here, look at everybody here has 100% sell-through rating. So that tells me, yeah, this item isn't selling a lot, but there's really not enough sellers consistently selling the item because this guy sold 7 items, 100% of them sold. So everything's selling out. I feel like if there were more of these available on eBay, there might be more sold and the sales stats might be better. So this might be a one. Let's see here. $7. The ones that I was seeing were like rubber, but I guess it depends on what we can get them for. Let's take a look here. $2.50, $7, $1.29, 10 cents. This is a pretty good price here. 90 cents. And what do we say the average? Let's go back and look at what the average price was. $9. Yeah, this may actually be a pretty decent category to get into. Let's take a look on Amazon. $25 through Amazon Prime. $19, $18. Not a ton of competition. This guy's on page 1, doesn't really have great reviews, and only has a 11 feedback. Okay, this will tell us something. So this is another thing I like to look at. We are gonna go in here and look at the sales rank for this item. So to do that, we're gonna scroll down to, where is it down here? Number 1 in health and personal care, and the bestseller rank is 3,000. This is actually a really, really good numbers here. I'm going to go and say that Kegel balls are a fairly good seller. So we're going to give that one a plus. Silicone spatula. This is kind of a silicone spatula. This is kind of a category that I think is a little bit saturated. Nothing is truly saturated. Everybody can find a way to make money, but this isn't something that I'm really wowed by. Only $1,600 in overall sales and a very low sell-through rating of 37%. So we're going to go ahead and give this one a minus. Let's do a pizza cutter. Pizza cutter. Okay, so good sales numbers, 5,953, but a fairly low sell-through rating. Just for the heck of it, let's look up... okay, pizza cutters. There's not a ton of competition. I'm just not really wowed by this item, so we're going to go... I'm not really going to dig into this much more. We're going to give a pizza cutter a minus. Let's look at hot water bottles, right? Hot water bottle. Not bad, you know, $5,200 in sales, almost a 50% sell-through rating. Average price is $762. Let's look up on Amazon. Hot water bottle. So here's some kind of cute ones that are selling. $18. Oh, see, but here we have more basic ones selling for $7. So I think if you're going to want to sell hot water bottles, you're going to have to find kind of a cuter looking one. You know, you're not just be able to sell like one of the ugly old orange hot water bottles that your grandma had laying around the house. You're going to have to do something kind of cuter. What's really going to make or break this one for me is the price we can get it for. Hot water bottle. $2, $2. Those cheapest for these basic ones, 10 cents. Wow, that's pretty cheap, 10 to 30 cents. $1.40, 18 cents to $3.22. Here's one that comes with a sleeve for 20 cents to $3. You know, this isn't a terrible item, but it's not something that really interests me, but it's not terrible. So we're going to give that a neutral. Copper mugs. Copper mugs are really popular with, you know, a lot of kind of people are into kind of new drinks and fancy drinks and Moscow mules and things like that. Oh, wow, look at this. We have 9,000 sold per week, which is pretty respectable, but only a sell-through rating of 8.6%. So that tells me either not very many people are buying these or the market is saturated, but either way, I'm not really interested. So we're going to go ahead and give this one a minus. Cactus food. Again, summer is just around the corner. People are getting ready to start their gardens. People are thinking about planting and things like that. And this one kind of popped into my head. I've seen this stuff on, ooh, really bad. Okay, I'm going to give this one a negative. We have really, really low sales numbers. We do have a fairly high sell-through rating, but just really low sales numbers. So I'm not even going to waste any time digging into that one. We're going to give that one a minus. Oops. Sorry, minus. And then lastly, we're going to do Coco coir, which is a growing medium. It's basically like ground up coconut husks. And it's really popular with like indoor hydroponics growers and things like that. The one problem with it is it's fairly bulky. It normally comes in big bales, so I mean shipping is going to be a big problem with that category. But I mean $2,600, not great, not terrible, not great, not terrible sell-through rating. But the shipping fee is, I don't know how people can even ship this stuff that cheap. Let's take a look here. Coco coir. Okay, so people are selling like little blocks of it. Like typically when I've seen it sold at gardening stores, it's sold as like a giant, like almost like a peat moss brick, like a 3 feet by 2 feet type thing. I'm not really familiar with this like small, I don't know if you got to soak this in water and it expands or something like that. But overall, I'm not really impressed with this category either. So let's go back into this. So as far as the categories that we looked into today, compression sleeves, we're going to give them a plus. Those look pretty promising. Hand warmers, we're going to give them a minus. Not the numbers weren't great, and it's just a seasonal item that's not in season. Hamburger press, I gave a neutral to. I think it could be a promising category. I wasn't wowed by it, but I do think it's worth looking into further. Kegel balls, we're going to give them a plus. Seems like those have really good margins and pretty good selling stats. Silicone spatula, we're going to give a minus. It's kind of a saturated category. And in addition to being kind of a saturated category, the numbers just weren't promising. A hot water bottle, again, we gave a neutral to. There's probably decent margins on it. If you want to get the high prices, you're going to have to go with some of the fancier ones, like a polka dot one or cutesy ones. If you're going to go with something basic, you're not going to be able to sell it for much, but you're going to be able to get them for dirt cheap, so there's pretty good margins there. Copper mugs, we're going to give a minus to. I thought they'd be more popular with like Moscow mules being so popular and things like that, but they're kind of expensive. They're a little bit overpriced. and I guess they're kind of a niche item. So the numbers just didn't shake out. So we're gonna give that one a negative. Cactus food, we're gonna give that a negative. The numbers just didn't work out. And Coco coir. Not only did the numbers not work out, but it's kind of a heavy, bulky item that's going to be difficult to ship. So for all those reasons, these items are, we got some positive ones, we got some neutral ones, and we got some negative ones. Again, what we used to pull these stats was Terapeak. Terapeak is probably my favorite analytics program for e-commerce. Like I said, I'm running a contest right now. If you guys haven't signed up, I'll put a link in the description box where you can sign up. We're going to be giving away a free year-long subscription to Terapeak, professional seller account, and we're also going to be giving away a month. And in addition to that, I'm going to give a little, just kind of short little free coaching session to the 2 winners as well. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Maybe you found an interesting product to dig into, or maybe I turned on, some little light bulb in your head that turns you on to some other type of product similar to one of these. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If so, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button just below to the bottom left of this video. If you guys have any questions about Terapeak, about selling on eBay or Amazon, or about these products in general, leave them in the comment section below. And stay tuned, guys. We got some good videos coming out this week, and we will talk to you soon.